in your console to record cues is pretty straightforward. The easiest way to do it, and what I would recommend for your purposes, is to always be in stage mode if you're going to record cues. You can record in blind, which basically means you're blindly taking channels and putting them at levels without seeing it happen on stage, which is something that you can do, for instance, if you're in the middle of a show and all of a sudden have to add a cue. But you don't typically want to be in that position, so what I would say is record all of your cues in stage, which is essentially you're looking at what is happening live on stage in front of you. So if you're in stage mode and you say channel 1 at full, then I can see on stage channel 1 is at full. If I were in blind, I would not see that. So we're in stage, channel 1 is at full, and you see that this channel is red. That means that the channel is captured, which you can see on the screen. It says captured channels. You don't want to keep captured channels as you move through cues, and we'll get to that in just a second. But in the meantime, let's say we want to put channels 1 through 4 at full. We'll say channel 1 through 4 at full. You see that they're all 4 in red and they all say full. Then let's say we want to put channels 5 through 10 at 50. So we'll say channel 5 through 10 at 50. When you type 50, 50, it will automatically take the channel to 50. You don't have to press enter. In fact, if you do, then that will select the channels, which is different from capturing channels. If you select the channels and they're highlighted in red, then you can actually control them with this wheel and you can slide them up and down to whatever intensity you want. So I will leave them at 50 and press enter to unselect them. And then let's say that we want to put channel 24 at 10% and channel 23 at 5%. When you get into single digit percentages, that's where it gets a little tricky with this console. The ETC expression likes to, if you enter at 5 enter, it thinks you want a channel to be at 50%. So what you would do if you wanted it to be at, for instance, 5%, you'd say channel 23 at 05, and then it'll put it at 5%. Then when you're ready to record your cue, all you have to do is hit record. Record starts flashing. On your screen it says to record the cue, select the number and press enter. You see that cue is already selected. So you are recording a cue by default anytime you hit the record button while you are in stage mode. Let's say we want to make this cue number 501. So we'll say record cue 501, enter. It has been recorded. You can tell because it says in the record area, C501, that's cue 501. If I wanted to record over a cue that already existed, for instance, I've already recorded a cue 500. So let's say I want to record cue 500. And you can see 500 pops up in this record field, so you always know what cue you are recording. It's very important that you pay attention to what cue you're in, because if you're in cue 300 and you want to record cue 500, when you hit the record button, it's going to default to whatever cue you're in. So you'll want to always tell it, record cue 500. It will tell you that it is recorded. If it's already been recorded, then it'll also ask you, are you sure you want to record over this cue if you're making a change to it? And you can just say yes or no. Now that you've recorded your cue, you'll notice that these channels are still red. Once you've recorded a cue, if you're done changing the levels of a channel, then you want to release those channels. That means that you don't want them to be captured anymore. And the reason why you want to do that is if you go to the next cue, regardless of what these levels are supposed to be at, if you have a captured channel, it's not going to change. So you won't get an accurate look at what's going on your stage at any given point in time. So in order to release those channels, you can do one of two things. You can either say channels 1 through 24 release. You can say channels 1 through 10 plus 23 plus 24 release. Or you can just say release release, which will release every channel that you have captured. You'll notice that captured channels has disappeared from the screen, and channels 1 through 10, 23, and 24 are now in green. That means that they've been recorded And the color coding, the green means that the channels have actually gone down in intensity from the previous cue. If these channels were blue, then that means that they would have gone up in intensity from the previous cue. If you want to clear your fader and you don't want to be looking at any cue on stage at all you have to do is press the clear button. And now you've cleared this AB fader. You'll see that there's nothing that is in that space there. It tells you that your next cue is 501. If you want your next cue to be Q1, all you have to do is type in Q1 and it'll tell you that's your next cue. You can hit your go button and it'll take the cue. You have no captured channels, so it looks exactly the way you want it to look. That's it.